Hello. Hi, how are you doing? So it's been a while that I posted here. I made a commitment. I'm supposed to be posting like 3 times every week for back testing, but I only did it once last week. Listen, it's not because like I couldn't. I just felt like, oh, I could do it tomorrow. Procrastination, right? But yeah, it's a new week. Okay, it's a new week. I'll make sure that I get on board. This week was amazing. Did you people see what gold did? In my last analysis, gold did not do what I analyzed it to do. But you know what? That's the thing about trading. You have to take it step by step, step by step. Let's get on the charts. Then we're going to do two things today, so it may be a little bit long. Why am I even always saying it's long? Like trading, if you are in the charts and everything, yeah. So I feel good today, so it may be a little bit. So we are going to continue our education on understanding major and minor structure. We've done market structure, how to identify your break of structure. Now that would help us identify the major and minor structure. Um, Minor structure is our goal, right? Because we're day traders. Day traders, we are day trading intraday, like in a week, we can take multiple trades. If you are a swing trader, you want to look at more of major structure. But the thing about structure is that there is structure inside of structure inside of structure inside of structure. So let's get into it. But first, let's look at what price did this past week. I don't think I've set my charts. Um, let's look at what price did this past week. Let me share my screen. Hope everybody is here. And if I'm here till the end, if I remember, I'm going to share the prayer. Um, again here. So how was this? Oh, I was back testing 5 minutes because I wanted to be like, what's up with you? 5 minutes? What's up with you? Okay, so do I still have the chart? Yes, I do. Yes, I do. Yes, I do. So last week we were right here. So I kept this thing here throughout the week because don't mind how lines were on my chart. Like last week gold was popping, so I was popping with it. So I kept this here because I said in that video that when we're going to watch for I think we're around here that what I am looking for, if price is going to go down, for price to come all the way here and everything. So that's why we always want to trade what we see, not what we think, because I didn't see that price broke and retested. So I was waiting for a break and retest to validate a sell. But what I got was a break and retest for a buy. So price was sitting as support. This is classified as an area of support. This is structure. Price went down. It didn't break and retest this area. It broke and then came back inside here. And staying in this area, it gave weak exhaustions in the support level. And then we had a jump, which is like a bullish, this is like an imbalanced candlestick, if you will. You had a jump here, just same way price jumps down here and then came all the way. When there is a gap in the market, at some point, price is going to come and fill that gap. So you have to take note, right? Which is what he eventually did here, came back past that area. And then during Asian session, we had this bullish momentum around here. So on a lower time frame, let me go 15 minutes, which is like my entry time frame for the most part. I got, a buy around here. And then price just kept on going. Now, remember a few videos ago, we talked about what gold was doing, and there is a potential like major structural fib here, or like just a main fib here that has not hit TP. So that means that structure is still forming, you know, that structure is still forming and we are still in it. So we are waiting for, that's what I'm looking out for, that when price does that. And this thick green trend line has been here because we had two touches here and we drew it into the future. Price respected in this area, came down. But now, what have we done? It's either price does what, respect or break. Now it has done both. First of all, respected, and now it has broken past that area. Now we watch out for a retest. Watch out for if it's going to retest that area. And if we have a valid retest, then we can take it by now. You know, because structure is still forming, it hasn't broken a valid major structure yet. It hasn't come past this level to say, oh, it has broken or it has broken this whole area. So we are still in a downtrend on major structure, but we are having, buys in between and sells in between. So we wait for price to, what I'm watching out for is for a valid confluence around this trend line for a buy. And then around that area, if we can get it by, I mean, ultimately, let me delete all this. This way, like mini fluctuation trades. Okay. And then if we get a buy up onto this level, which, is going to come past this whole area, there's still a sell inside here if price actually comes back. But the sell momentum was too strong. Yesterday was NFP, that's Friday. No, on Friday was NFP, and we had that sell movement, that sweet sell, sweet sell. And how could you have even gotten that sell? I'll get to it. But what I was saying is I'll just wait for price to come here, give us validation for a buy. We take a buy around here up onto this, area of resistance back. If price will show that it wants to keep going up, we know that our ultimate area that is going to is that tape perfect one, which could be that price has hit it around here because it did come to 3,400 and then we had that exhaustion there, so it's still, but if price is going to continue going down, we are still going to wait and see for it to come back inside that trend line, retest that trend line, and then keep going down, continuing down, and give us more bearish momentum. So overall, bearish, now bearish, in between, you could have bullish structures inside. Okay, so now I'm going to go over and rechart my charts, but not in this video. But we want to check, continue our study on major and minor structure. Now, what is major structure? What is minor structure? In trading, the names mean what they mean. Major structure is the structure that is happening overall. A minor structure is the detailed movements happening inside. So the minor leads up to the major, but the major is the main thing, is where the minor is going. But before the minor will get there, it's going to, pass through some roads and all of those. So you have to understand what it means. Let's check. the dictionary meaning of major and minor. What does major and minor mean? Uh, the difference between the major and minor. Minor is a lot less intensive. Okay. Minor is a lot less intensive. Major means it's greater and a greater workload. Mostly the definitions they're about, but you know, so the main structure, it doesn't mean that now, very important. No structure is more important than one. They are both equally important for day traders. Okay, so you have to know the kind of trader that you are. Um, you have to know that you are a if you're a swing trader, if you're a intraday, you know the rest. So we identified how to spot a break and retest and all that. Now going on a daily time frame. Um, Now you should know that impulse correction continuation is what I mean by like your higher highs and your higher lows. So we are going to represent those with this tool here. This tool here on TradingView, that is A to B, from one higher high to another higher high to a higher low and all that. So these will represent our trend points. Okay. So we have this, for example, you have this downtrend. This is a high here. This is a lower low. That will be our point B. Lower high, that will be our point C. Lower low will be the point D. And that cycle is done, right? This is a structure. Then the next cycle of the structure will have, okay, you have that C will become A now, lower high, lower low, lower high, lower low, you know, so we'll just we'll just keep it at that. Just keep it at that, okay? So now this is on a higher time frame, obviously, so that is the structure that is happening in between. That's the structure that is happening in between. So let's use the current what's going on right now to so let's find a point A to be here. Okay, let's just use this guy. Okay, I'm not sure the replay tool will allow that far on lower time frames. So breakup structure, we have this, right? Okay. Or let's use because it's closer to time. We've established that one is breakup structure. So let's use this one. Impulse correction continuation. Impulse mover means that the first move that creates the high or the low. So we have lower low, lower high, and then lower low. Now that is on a daily. So I'll make this purple. That is a downtrend. If we're going to enter this trade, you're going to enter right here and then take the trade, right? That's a downtrend. Now on 4 hour, we're still going to look for this trend. You can see this straight movement on the daily time frame. On 4 hour, it still looks almost the same, but it still looks almost the same, but we had some fluctuations inside here. So basically what I'm just doing, I'm going to highlight all the point A to point B to point C to point D on every time frame. That's what I'm doing. And this takes training your eyes to do. Okay? It takes training your eyes to do. Let's just take the main structures. I just want to grab one here. Okay. So this is for our, now we have the purple. Now follow me. Don't let it rear your eyes. You follow me. Okay. So you have that. Now see from on the daily you have, I think I should write it. So daily time frame, you have A to B. I want that to be, I want it to be like the umbrella. You know what I'm saying? Yeah. Let's just say, let's make it like a table. Point A, hold on. Inside my course, I really do break this down, but I want to break it down as much here too as well. So, okay. So let's put this here. That's on the daily. Point A to B is the impulse, right? This whole place, where is the arrow? This is known as the impulse leg. This is known as the retracement, which is correction leg, and this is known as the continuation. As a trader, you always take your trades on the continuation leg. That is what concerns you, because the impulse leg, you don't know. I mean, some people know, but it takes a lot to know that that's the end of the previous trend. We are transitioning from uptrend to downtrend, from downtrend to uptrend, and so on. It takes a whole lot to know that that uptrend has reached its peak and the downtrend has reached its bottom, which is why most people lose a lot of money, because they're trying to catch the bottom and the top. So the best thing is to come here and like wait for price to tell you that, oh, I'm now creating an impulse. I'm now having like a sell uh momentum come in. You understand? So yeah. So now you have that. Now for our inside the daily point A to point B, you have the H4. Inside point A, you have H4 also has A, B, C, D. Inside point B, it has, is this thing working? Okay, inside point B, it also has A, B, C, D. In point C too, it has what? A, B, Okay. So those are the 3 points. Point A to B impulse. Let me write that out. Okay. You can call it impulse phase. You can call it phase one. You can call it phase two. You can name it anything, but impulse means what's happening like right now. So D to C. Oh, sorry. D to D. The continuation. So I like to give things acronym, so you can name this ICC, right? Um, so that's what I mean. So between that A and B and everything, um, the lower time frame structure is leading up to the higher one, okay? So while daily is forming A to B, inside the 4 hour, we have B to C. You can also have a buy there. So now we have the 4 hour structure. Let's just use that one 4 hours point A to point B, right? Let's hide this one. Sorry. Excuse me. Um, so inside, don't know. Yes, so now we are on the 1 hour. The reason I didn't go to 2 hours or 3 hours is I don't use those time frames. I only put them there so that I can mentally know that 1 hour is far from 4 hours. That is why I put them there for myself. So I could easily remove them from here. But I don't use the 2 hour time frame. You can use them, of course, they make sense. In fact, it's kind of straight. I know a trader, a popular trader that even brought my attention to the 2 hour time frame. Use whatever time frame works. This is just the most popular ones that I've worked with. In fact, instead of using 4 hours, you can use 3 hour time frame. Instead of using daily, you can use 12 hours. It's okay. So we are working with this one here, the 4 hour time frame. So on 1 hour, we still see this, right? You can even still see that pattern inside. But let's just go with this. My 1 hour is most usually blue. Mhm. And even from point, I mean, it wasn't, it's not so, it's not so cut and crisp, but we get the gist. It's not so cut and crisp, but we get the gist. So, I'm going to make this correction phase. Let's see a color that I don't really use here. Yeah, okay. So I'm identifying the phases of structure inside of structure. Okay. This is what I mean by training your eyes. Okay. So Let's go on focusing on that 1 hour retracement. This is 15 minutes now. Same thing with 30 minutes. Okay, let's find 30-minute structures inside as well. Course correction, continuation, where the continuation phases color be different. Okay. Impulse, correction, continuation, point A to B. Okay, we didn't see any here. This particular correction is not so enticing, but yeah, all we saw here was like this is also, this right here actually is also a impulse correction continuation, you know, you have more on the inside, and that's what we call binary structure. All the structures forming inside of structure. So the best way that I've been able to understand this is that structures are fractals of each other. And a fractal is something that keeps occurring and occurring and occurring. Like it's like the same thing, the same overall picture. You know, the same, let me check what fractal. Let me check the definition of fractals. The same overall picture is what you have everywhere. What you have here is what you have everywhere. Fractal meaning. There is even a fractal indicator. So see what I'm reading from dictionary. It says a curve or a geometrical figure, each part of which is the same statistical character as the whole. They are useful in modeling structures, such as snowflakes, and in which similar patterns occur at progressively smaller scales in describing partly random or chaotic phenomena. Like literally, you can Google it. That's what it is. See, I just checked the pictures. Let me find one that would be good. I'll be like a fractal that we can use. Let's use this triangle. I don't know. I don't want to use triangle. Let's use, I think we can use this leaf. Is it coming up? I'll use this leaf. Okay. Oh, no, stop share. Yes, see something like this leaf. Um, where is it? Okay. I mean, this whole article talks about fractals. So if we just check on everything is one whole leaf, but each branch of that leaf is like the whole thing. That's what I'm trying to, like each branch is so beautiful. Each leaf is like the whole leaf. And even inside that leaf, there is still is like if you cut one away, it's like the whole thing, and then it still has its own baby leaves inside. And if you cut that one, it still has its own baby leaf inside. That is exactly major minor structure. See it here. This is daily time frame, or this is 1 year time frame. Then you have all the time frames on the inside. So people always ask, my students always ask, like, is it about the time frame? For the most part, yes. Yes, that's how you that's how you know it. That's how you first of all train yourself to see it. Yes. But I've come to realize that even on the same time frame, you can still have structure inside of structure. Okay. So let's get into it. We're going to 15 minutes structure inside of here. So now don't be confused. This very dark purplish one we have is 30 minutes. So I want to look for, I don't think I finished the 30 minutes, but I want to look for 15 minutes inside what I have looked for. Now, these are the detailed moves that we always watch out for. You know, I want to go and do another study on fractals because I just saw something that interested me. So 15 minutes and 30 minutes seem like they're almost the same mostly for the most part. Um, but obviously, yeah. So our concern as traders is to always trade at the point C. We're trading at point C, trading at point C. Obviously, price just went all the way down, but you get it. We're trading at point C. Yeah, we're trading at point C. So let me look for more. This is going to take you hours and days. So I always give my students assignments that they have to submit. If not, they can't go to the next stage. And the homework is to be able to identify this. And most people always come back and redo it over and over again. But at the end of the day, they are better off for it because the more you do this on multiple pairs, I'm doing this on your GU, we have 7 pairs in my inside my course. You get to choose 7 pairs because 7 is number of completion. My name means complete 777, right? Which me saying 777 now means like I think that's what they use on the lotto this thing, yeah. So I'm lottery, babe. Yes, I'm joking. I'm joking. Oh my God. So yes. So if you want to do this, get your headphones on, get your snack, and get to work. Spend hours on your charts. Try on at least 7 pairs. You can do 10 pairs, but in 7 pairs, start from the higher time frame and then bring it down to the low time frame. Okay, so this is us doing major and minor structure together. Now, my goal in the coming videos is for us to do only major structure. Then next, we'll do only minor structure before we now move to Fibonacci and being able to, I'm not, I don't think I'm going to spill out all the tea on Fibs because I learned the strategy. So I'm not going to do a full detail. It's inside my own course. Um, I'm not going to give out all the details on Fib because Fibs are very powerful if we use them well. Um, but I'll definitely share some. It's nothing crazy. It's nothing crazy. We can see from here that 30 minutes and 15-minute structure mostly move alike, but there are some times that 15 minutes can move. So this may look like maths, the geometry that you were avoiding in secondary school, but you can see all that noise that 15 minutes is making. All that noise is just point A to point B. Do you see? All that 15 minutes noise right here. It's just point A to point B on 4 hour. But do you want to tell me? Let's go back and measure the pips. Wait. First of all, measure the pips here. Let's measure the pips here. Okay. Three hundred and 344 pips. 344 pips, right? Point A to B on 4 hours. And let's measure the days as well. How long did it take? Almost 2 weeks, 12 days, 344 pips. Let's go to 15 minutes. Yeah, what I wanted to be writing here was on 1 hour, this 4 hour point A to point B, you see A, B, C, D inside that on 1 hour. That's what I wanted to do. So we can still do 15 minutes for pink. So we are just going to measure um the point A to B's, or no, let's just say the C to D's. Okay. Only the C to D. Okay. It's 98. Let's bring out the calc. 98 plus 37, 64 plus this is it, plus 171 plus, we're not even calculating the whole move, just like the potential C to D, right? The continuation. And this whole one even ended here. So let's do 125 plus, have we gotten to the B? We've gotten to B. We've gotten to B. Let's just leave it at that. And that's 573, which I believe is more, and all of these are happening. That's within that 2 weeks. I don't think I calculated it well, but let's say within a week, that's what happened here. Within a week, 570 pips, or let's say within that 2 weeks, as opposed to 344, So anyway, this is looking at major and minor structure. You should do a study on fractals, on what that means, and um do a study on fractals on what it means, and then you'll be able to understand it more. So have a good. I feel like I'm missing something. That's why I'm stalling. Or I'm supposed to look at what price is doing this coming week. So we'll make another video, maybe on our call on Monday, because we usually have calls Monday, Wednesday, sometimes Saturday. But we'll analyze what price is doing next week. And there's so much volatility in the market. So much volatility in the market because the president and his guy, they are fighting and stuff like that. So let's take note. Don't the thing about news and the thing about news generally, Twitter, everything is volatility. Structure is structure. Structure is still going to form, it's still going to continue. It's volatility. Okay, so don't get caught in what's happening on the inside right now. Okay, so make sure the peeps remain with you. And oh, the prayer. Let me find that. I think this is the third prayer. So in the next video, I'll do the prayer. The file is not on it closed already, so I'll find it and we will say the prayer then. So ciao, have a good weekend. Bye. Make sure you backtest, learn what fractal is, and let me know if this is helping you. Let me actually know if this is helping you. And like, comment, share with a trader share with this thing. And I want to start doing more personal development videos because that's really, really the main thing in trading. So let me know if you like that and what you want me to actually talk about. Let me actually know in the comments, in my comments, what you want me to talk about apart from this series that I'm doing, which is like market structure series and backtesting series, Let me know. Okay? Bye, guys.